Welcome to another amazing day at fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Hi, everybody. It has been a 3-day weekend in terms of we had Friday off, so I'm back again with Nick and Ken Tooley. Nick Hunter is one of our senior engineers who is really well known for doing UI UX stuff and also a ton of other really cool advanced FileMaker developer tips and tricks. And Ken Tooley has been graciously with us for the past several weeks, giving his time and his file so Nick can renovate it live for everyone can see how that goes. What is our training schedule? So obviously Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week are all going to be existing FileMaker file design and modernization workshop. Nick is taking a file and renovating it live. Thursday will be a mirror sync update with Jesse Barn, which will be really cool. Friday will be send grid, outbound email, and FileMaker, which is always interesting. And then Monday will be resuming our current series. So if you'd like to support the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. We have our FM training annual subscription bundles. There are 3 options. The last one comes with FileMaker. There's a ton of video courses in here. It's really good for beginner developers, especially because it really gives them the ability to process and understand FileMaker from really a ground up perspective. We cover all of the super basic things, from even just accessing layout mode. We have a discussion on that. It's also good for intermediate developers who have specific tasks or things they need to do or things they haven't done in a while. Like we have a whole thing on servers. I know that server maintenance is not a very common thing, so that tends to be things we get a lot of questions on. WebDirect, etc. Go. We talk about all of that. So these are great. They're very short, dynamic little video, bite-sized content pieces. Not like our streams which go on for an hour, but our streams are much more live, interactive content, so it has that advantage going for them. Okay. With that being said, Nick, I'm happy to hand it over to you. What are we doing today?
Yes, hello, Marge. Hello, everybody. Hello, Ken. So I saw that you had a great weekend, so that's good. So yeah, so thank you everybody for joining today. So I'm very happy to initiate this new week. I have a pretty good stuff in preparation. Soon I'm going to show you some stuff I'm doing for my customers, and I just finished something that I can show you just by curiosity. Hold on, let me open the file. Something when I was talking about the challenge that I have sometimes from my customers, right? So this is type of challenge that I have. So I'm going to show you a custom function that I built. So this is kind of stuff that you get some time to do, right? It's free while function embedded.
Wow.
Right? So take me some time to do that, right? But it's so stuff like this, right? That I'm going to prepare for you is like how we do something like this, right? It's pretty much embedding loops in scripts, right? So when you do that, you have a strong discipline to do, and you need to a great understanding of the function to be able to do something like this, okay? Especially that the whole thing, right, works with only those free data, okay? Actually, with these two, this is not really necessary, but these two, just two, so you fill up those 2 things and the whole thing works, right? So that's something I have in the pipe to show you guys, right? So it's that was interesting to do. When you get the thing, it's not that complicated, by the way. It's but you need to organize. So that the goodness of this webinar when it will come is to how to organize a while function in order to be understandable enough and simple enough to do something like this. Otherwise, you get lost totally. If you go wild, not wild.
Yeah.
That'll
be fun to see.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. It was a challenge, and I love challenge because it pushed me to the limits, and I'm learning things, right? So, and it's amazing how FileMaker can be a powerful tool, to be honest. It's a powerful tool because to do something like this, I don't know another tool that you can do that, by the way.
Right.
It's very, very, with FileMaker, it's not that complicated. Just, when I did one day a webinar about, the human logic. You take the human logic as a technique, right? It's
Mhm.
at the foundation of your not thinking FileMaker techniques, just thinking just human logic, right?
Right.
And use a FileMaker technique to support that logic. You understand? So
Yeah.
that each time I'm using that principle, I'm successful. So it's something very interesting to do. Okay, so what are we doing today? So today we continue the modernization of this wonderful file. So last week we built each time I'm screwed with this.
We're gonna have to fix that one of these days.
Yeah. Wait, because I'm going screwed all the time. So so we have this, and we want to add a balloon, right? So we have all the balloons here. I know my sample data sucks, but we have all the balloon, and we can select, the balloon here, right?
Right.
And then we can select multiple, and we have the counter. So that I explained that last week, so I'm not going to go back there, right?
Right.
But I will just continue, with this. So when we arrive here, right? When we arrive here, we want to attach those balloons to the pilots, right? So that's what
Yes.
we want. We want to make this button here. Actually, we need to rename this. Okay, so we have in the balloon, we have this picker here. I call that picker. Okay,
Yep.
so you pick something. So here you have this group of buttons here, okay, that I call validate. Why? Is because when we do a selection, right? When we do a selection here, we need to refresh that object, okay? So let me explain a little bit about the refresh, okay? Every time that you base a hidden state, a hidden calculation here, right?
Mhm.
Every time you base this on a variable, right? You need to do a refresh, on a global variable. When you have a global variable and the variable is involved in the hidden of the object, you need to refresh the object.
Okay.
There's no way the object will refresh itself by the variable, because there is no validation. And that's why it's fast. That's why variables are fast. It's because you have no validation process.
Okay.
So it's much faster than having a global field and rely on the global field, because global field you need to set the field and validate, right?
Right.
So, but with the global variable, you have no validation, so it's just in the memory, right? And remember what I explained last week. When you click here, your selection, these buttons, these check marks and stuff like that, that is only available to you, because I can open this. Somebody else can open the file and do another selection, right? And you don't want to see his selection, and he doesn't want to see yours, right? So that's
Right.
why we don't, to do something like that, we don't rely on the fields like a checkbox, right? We don't rely on the fields because the field that everybody will see it. No, we don't rely on field. We rely on the global variable because the global variable here, right, is available to me only.
Right.
Okay. But each time you click, in order to see, I set the variable, nothing happened. And the thing happened only when I refresh the button. But this is refresh object. It's like peanuts in terms of performance, right? I refresh an object, right?
Yeah. One little thing.
Yeah, don't refresh the window. You refresh the object, right?
Right.
So you put the name of the object and you refresh your object, right? So that the the apartheid about the refresh object and the hidden object and the global variable. So now I have this. So I want to finish those two buttons. So now I'm going to rename those buttons. Is no longer add selected contact, is add selected balloon, right?
Yeah.
And I have another one here, add selected balloon. So why? So now I'm going to type. It's a group of objects. Why? Because I want to refresh both at the same time. So my script here, I just said object name validate,
and you get both
and the
buttons.
object, yeah, and then I get both objects refreshed. Okay. So the first is when is empty the new balloons ID, right? And the other one is the opposite. So is it balloon or balloons? I don't remember. Oh, it's balloon.
Singular.
Okay. Yeah, singular. Yeah, because I have IDs. So it's balloon IDs, right? Yes, I know. But the naming is very important. It helps you remember what you need to do. Okay, so what that do, So let's save this layout. So I think I need to, yeah. So if I close this, if I open this, this is empty. So add selected balloons is grayed out.
Nothing in the new.
Yeah, as soon as I click one, boom, I can add selected. If I unclick, click,
Yep.
unclick, click, and click. Okay. So that easy is, if it's empty, okay. So that's, I took care of this. So now we want to create another script, which is validate balloon. Okay. Validate balloon selection, and it's on a card. So pretty much what do we want to do? Okay. First, the discipline you need to take here on every single script you do, right? Or every single calculation you do, you put first in place what you need for the process of the script, right? If it is available. So the first thing, yeah, the first thing I need, right, is to collect, this set variable, right? Let me do something else. Here, let me explain something else. Sorry, I want to talk about something, but I'm going to talk about that later because otherwise it won't make sense. I just realized it, talking about this. So here, right? Remember, on every single of my tables and layout, I have a script on record load, always. And this script is to do something, just something very simple, is to, each time I'm loading a record, I'm populating in a variable, right? I'm populating the current pilot ID. So if I here, look this.
Yep.
I click another one, boom, it change. Each time I'm landing in one pilot, I get the ID, the main key, the parent key of the pilot. This is available to me at any time.
Right.
At any time and from anywhere. That is important. So now that I have this, right? And when I am here, I click here, I have the list of the new balloon IDs. I need those two. So they are available to me. The current pilot ID, right, will always be available to me, right, at any time, because this window, it is popped from a pilot. So if I'm going here and I'm adding a balloon, the two IDs here, and I'm doing this, I have this and this available. And this is the ID of that pilot because I changed it. So,
right.
So when I pop this window, thanks to that on record load trigger, I have always the ID of the current pilot available. So I can use it. Okay. So in my scripts, what do I need to do? First, I need to do a freeze window. Okay, I'm freezing. Okay. And then I am going to a layout which is where I have my, what's the name? This one, right?
No, the cross-reference, right?
This is where I have the cross-reference because I'm going to create records there. So I'm going there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm saying this, loop, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing, first thing I need, when I do a loop, I need a counter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the role of the counter is to know in which loop we are.
Right.
But if I have the counter, I do need absolutely to know when the loop must stop. And that is a variable, a local variable I call value count, right? And it is the value count of how many balloons I have clicked.
How many new
So
ones?
I'm
right.
counting, yeah. So I'm counting how many new balloons, how many values I have in this variable. I'm counting it.
Right.
So that will tell me when to stop. If I clicked 5 balloons, when the counter equal the value count, right? When the counter reach the value count, it goes away. I mean, if I have 5 here, when this reach 5, bye. Okay? So now that I have this, so I'm here, right? I'm here, and I have my 5 balloons, right?
Yep.
So here, my variable gets me 5 values. Okay?
Right.
So I have this available to me, and I have the current pilot available to me. Okay? So here the trick. Okay? I want to say first, set variable is a local, and I say current balloon ID. And what it is, I'm getting the value of this variable based on what the counter says. Explanation. Let's say I have my list of 5 balloons here, and I am in the first loop. So this here will say, okay, in that list, counter says 1, get this one. The other loop, counter said 2, get this one. The other loop, counter said 3, get this one. The other loop, 4. The other loop, 5. And then 5 equal 5, bye. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now I'm here and I'm saying new record. So now, right, I have, so let me see before if I can do that, because sometimes I cannot. Yeah, I can do it. It was already there, by the way. Yeah. Okay. Now, I do not need set fields and set fields. I do not need to say set field the balloon and set fields the pilot. I don't need to do that. You know, I don't need to say, I don't need to say, okay, set the field with the current balloon ID and set the field with the current pilot ID. I don't need that. Why? Because here in that table where I am inside that table, by the way, I am in the xref1. Okay. I'm going to create a new records, and I have here an auto entry calculation that points to the variable I just created here. So I create a variable with an ID, and then I said new record. And doing the new record, I have an auto entry calculation that says whatever in that variable, put there. And remember, I have, right, the current pilot ID, right? Remember?
Right.
I have the
The
current
global
pilot
that we
ID.
talked about 2 minutes ago.
I have the global, exactly. So I have the global of the pilot ID there. So I don't need to take care of this, right?
Already something in the variable, the auto calc will fill it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I have a philosophy. So is it clear for everybody here in the audience about this, about the auto entry calculation with the current variable, and then you suck in the is that, you know, if people are, I don't know, it's very quiet today.
Top Cat says it's clear.
Okay, very clear. Okay. But I have a philosophy. My philosophy is to never, ever, ever put here a global variable. Never. Why? Because that could be a problem. Let me show you. I do a global variable here, right? And I go in that table manually, right?
Well, I think I see. Yes, I think I see where you're going.
Yeah. Oh, I go there. Not this one, the T200. Yeah. I'm going there. I create a new record. Look what happened. Boom. I have these pilots coming. If I go there and I do new record, I have this pilot coming. Why? Is because I have an auto entry calculation that points to a global variable, a variable that is always there. And I don't want that, because that's, by experience, gave me a lot of headaches. Okay, a lot of headaches. So I have a philosophy to say, okay, yes, I have the current pilot ID available, right? But let's transform that global variable into a local variable. That means I'm taking that global ID, and for that script, I have a local variable that is available only during that script. That means this local variable is available only when I do a new record, but only during the execution of that script. At the end of that script, this goes away. That means if I have...
So the global stays there, but you've put it in the local so that when we create a record, we know the right one's going in.
And here, I don't put a global, I put the local.
Right.
That means now, if I go there and I click new record, I have nothing.
Right.
Right? Nothing comes. Right?
Yeah.
But if I click this and I said this, and if I execute the script here, this script, if I do this script,
right,
at that point, and I'm saying this, if I go there, so now, sorry for the weather. Oh, I cannot do new. But now, I have current pilots and current pilot. I have both.
Right.
The auto entry calculation will point on this, but not on this. So that means now, thanks to that trick here, yes, I have the current pilot available to me, but I'm putting that into a local variable, and I have my auto entry calculation that points into local variable. So that means here I'm safe. I'm safe. This will never suck something that I don't want.
Yeah.
Right? Because it will be only available if I run scripts. So I have control on this. Right? So when I'm done with
following the steps, it's all gonna work. If I jump outside the steps, it doesn't break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now
Stu likes this too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So he was never using that technique because you have problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this technique is cool because look, right? So new request, and that's it. There's no set field, right? And we don't want set field. We don't need, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then, when we're done with this, pretty much we are done, right? So I'm taking the current pilot ID and I put it in the local. I'm counting how many balloons I have in the new balloon ID global variable. Then I go to my layout. I'm setting the counter. I'm setting a local variable with the current balloon ID out from the global variable, but this is a local variable. I'm calling the global. I'm getting the value based on the counter, and then I put this inside a local. And that local variable is called into the balloon fields, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm create my new record until the counter equal how many balloons I clicked. I close the window and I set the fields, the magic fields, the trigger here. So I don't remember which trigger I'm using for the number of balloons. The one. Okay. So why I'm doing this? Get timestamp. So I close the window, the cast style window, and I set this. Why? Because this will reset the auto entry calculation that counts how many balloons I have for that part.
And by closing the window, that freezes everything, right?
Yeah. Close the window is free.
Yeah.
So now let's go to that layout and attach to that script that just created validate balloon code to that layout. So I'm clicking here and I this, and this, and I validate. Boom.
There they are.
And I have five balloons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right?
Yep.
So what thing do is this. I add the balloon. I click my balloons. And then what happened? I freeze, but it won't freeze it because I'm doing the debugger. So I'm setting my two variables here. So the value count 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to the layout where I want to create the records. I'm setting the counter 1. I'm getting the variable, the current balloon ID, the first F3A, the first value from this new balloon ID, F3A. I do my new record, boom, everything comes, everything, schlock, right?
Mm-hmm.
ID, balloon, ID pilot. Then I do again. So now I have counter 2, the current balloon ID is 9C, the second out of the new balloon. I'm doing 3 times, and I'm doing 4 times. Now, counter equal value counts. I'm getting out. I close that window, and I'm setting this to refresh this number. Boom.
Junk.
Correct?
Yep.
So
you sure have a lot of
is,
balloons, Nick.
Yeah. Of course, I will always.
Yeah.
I'm like the boss. You know what? You know what? Okay, don't tell me that we're not tracked on the internet. We are freaking tracked. You know why? I am bombarded by advertisement to buy an helicopter. I am bombarded with this. Buy an helicopter. You know, like $500,000. Yeah, I have $500,000 to buy an helicopter. Yeah, sure. They're pretty good. I'm on my phone, on everywhere I go, buy an helicopter. So we are tracked. You know.
Well, soon they'll be asking you to buy balloons.
Yeah, because they listen to me. But that's a shop to buy a balloon. There exists a shop to go and buy.
No, they're not near like a helicopter. You could buy a fleet of balloons for what Richard's going to pay for.
No. But is that a shop to buy one, or you need to do your own?
No, you can buy one. There's always a few out there for sale.
Okay, but people build this, right? There's
a lot more people starting to build their own. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a balloon for each of his girlfriends. Yeah, I don't know why the girlfriends. You know, I think that's a Richard fantasy. That it's on me his fantasy. I think
he's living it through you.
Yeah, he's living his fantasy. Okay, so we have balloon. Okay, but now that I have this, I want to do the same.
Don't go there.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to break on that habit, right? So I want to do the same for the pilot.
Right.
I want to be able to say, I want to, add a pilot the same way. Okay. So we need a pilot picker.
Yeah.
So that's very simple, because most of the time I duplicate a layout I already have, right? So I'm going to name C100, because this C100 I'm going to delete it, and that is a pilot picker. So you rename it and you point this to the pilot table. And you tweak it, right? So I'll show you how easy it is to do something like this. So here I'm in the pilot table, right? So this is no longer selected balloons, but it's select pilots, right? I don't need a create button. That is only for the balloon. This is a close window. This is, I'm going to name the variable. I'm going to name it pilot and not balloons. And this will be pilots and not balloons. This, I need the ID pilots and the ID pilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the conditional formatting, remember I told you last time that I have a conditional formatting inside. This is pilots based on the pilot ID. Then I want to hide this button when the pilots here. I think I can copy this, right? I want this to be refreshed when this the new pilot, and here the new pilot, right? So you rename the thing the same way with the same construction. Here,
the text on that button too.
Yeah. Yeah. So we go to the pilot table and we do the thumbnail. I think we have the pilot thumbnail, right?
I think it's headshot.
Oh, yeah, headshot. Headshot thumbnail. Okay. So I have it. I can put here the full name or the pilot name or something like this. How we call
Yeah.
that? The full name, name full.
Name, yeah. First, last.
Yeah, last first is better, but
Either way.
yeah. So what kind of information we can put there? Let's go to the pilot.
The rating. Their rating would be good.
Okay. So where the rating? How you call?
We actually, I think we have it in the button bar there.
Here?
In the underneath the certificate number.
This one?
I think that's the rating. Yeah.
Okay. The name is pilot.
It's just called rating. Yeah.
Okay, rating. Okay. So we put the rating here.
Yeah.
So you see, I like this construction because it's something we can reuse easily, right?
Yeah.
And we can, I don't know, what can we do? We do their certificate status, something like that, whatever.
Yeah, I don't. At this point, I mean, there's not a whole lot. Yeah, more I need really.
Yeah. Okay, certificate status.
So you can put anything, or you can just leave it out.
Let's put certificate status, and we can just get rid of this. So let's put like this. We get rid of this, and we do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can put our
that would be the status. The side there would actually be the status. Status pilot.
Status pilot. Okay.
Yep.
So this is 13. Okay.
The text on the bottom. Add the selected.
Oh yeah. Pilots. Okay. So pretty much we have layout done. So I have a picker done. Boom. Right?
Yeah.
Right? So we have all the information we need. And we have a picker done. Now, easy to duplicate those two, right? So that was for the balloon. So I create the separation. I don't know why those things are so easy. Why they so slow? I never know. Like copy paste of, So that this is open pilots.
Pilot picker.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why this way of naming things is easy. Add pilots and validate pilots. Right?
Yeah.
So now we just have to tweak a little bit. This is no longer the pilot ID, but the current balloon ID. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is not longer the current balloons IDs, it's the current pilots. Right? And this is not the new balloon.
Wouldn't that be singular?
Yeah. And this is no longer selected balloons, but selected pilots. That points to the new pilots, right? And then we say pilot selected, pilots selected. We don't
I think we did the same thing. I think you did the same plural thing there. Top, yeah, the top one, new pilot IDs. Yeah.
You have a good eye. And here, I'm not longer going to the C200, but a C100. And I'm sorting no by balloon name, but by last first.
Last, yeah.
Name last first. Okay. So in a matter of minutes, just by tweaking those things, right? The add pilots, I don't even think about it, I change this with pilots, and this is coming from pilots, ID pilots. This is a new pilots, and this is the pilot ID. Come with the pilot ID, and I replace this here, here, and here. And then I said pilot. This is the same new pilot based on the new pilot. That's very easy. And that take the ID of the pilot. Those the same. This is, actually I can copy paste this because it's the same. I copy this, I delete this, and I paste this instead. And the validation, now I do the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have on record load balloon. I didn't create it, so I need to create it. And I said set variable of the current balloon that the current balloon ID, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's on record commit. I'm going to put that on the balloon dashboard, balloon.
Right.
Right. And I'm going to put that here on the on record
load.
And I'm going to take the on record load balloon. Right.
Mm-hmm.
In this script here, the validation, I'm doing the same trick. I am changing the global into a local, right?
Yeah.
Value count is based on the new pilots, the selection of the pilots,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm still going to the same layer because it's a cross-reference,
Right.
The same counter. Now it's the current pilot ID. I'm going to take this out of the, right?
Yeah.
Out of the new, the picker. I'm going to select.
How many did you select in the picker?
Yeah. I'm still doing this because this will take care of it. Don't do anything else because this current pilot ID, current balloon ID, this here will take care of it.
Yeah.
It was the opposite before. I had the current pilot and the current balloon. Now I have the current balloon and the current pilot.
Right.
Close the window. But this now I need to change to update in the balloon table, and I don't have a.
Yeah, I don't think we made one there.
Yeah, well, we will do.
There's probably one of mine there, but maybe not.
Yeah, so I'm a lazy guy, so I'm going to the pilot, right? Take care. I've copied this, and I paste it, right? It's there. So
Now, would you change the name of it here so that you could kind of keep track of which trigger you're firing?
Yeah. That's why I say one. Then if we add another one, we added two.
But there's a trigger one in pilots, and there's a trigger one in balloons.
Yeah, but I know that because
but you have
balloon,
the first. Oh, yeah, but you have the first part. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm ready. So I start at 46 doing this. 53 is done. I have the whole thing working in a matter of minutes. It's very, very easy. Just so you go there, go to the balloon, and we are going to add pilots. Script. Open pilot picker. Of course, I need the parameters there. Okay. I need to send parameters inside that script. So, because as I said, I'm lazy, I don't want to think about it. So I'm going to copy whatever I have in the pilot table, in the pilot layout. So you see, when you have something well constructed, you can reuse and reuse and reuse and reuse, never ends, right? So the reusability is based on the simplicity you have on how you build things, right? The script is simple, straightforward. I don't have a lot of things to take care of. It's logical. The naming of my stuff is explanatory. I don't put the VC or BID or PID. I don't do that, right? You know what I mean? The abbreviations.
This makes it very readable.
Yeah, it makes readable, and I don't need comments.
Right.
So one day I told to the guy, I said, okay, yeah, he had a relationship map with billions of abbreviations. So he had here a piece of text with all the explanation of what all the abbreviation means. I said, if you need this, why you don't write the right thing, right? It's okay.
I'm guilty of trying to abbreviate things, and then I run into exactly what you said. Later on, I don't remember what it meant.
Exactly. So you should drop this. I know it's a pain. You need to take the time, to what's the name? You need to take the time of
to spell it out, label it correctly.
Yeah, but I noticed something, right? I noticed something. Each time I do that, I take the time to name the thing correctly. It saved me billions of time afterwards.
Yeah, that's the part that I have to learn. I know. Take the time now, because you'll get it back later.
Yeah, take the time to put everything in place, name the thing correctly, because it saves you a ton of time. It's incredible. So now,
go slow to go fast, I think, is what people say about that.
Exactly. So let's see if it works, right? So I'm here and add a pilot. So it opens. No, doesn't open. Cool. Okay. I don't know what happened, but it happened. Okay. So click. Okay. No, maybe I didn't click for it. So I have all my palettes. This one selected, right? And this one selected. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So now I'm saying, okay, I want this, this, this. Okay, here I have a problem. So why? The new balloon. I don't have the new maybe I didn't. Oh, I know why. Okay, I need to close this. Sometimes it's a pain, FileMaker. So now it works. Okay, and save correctly the layout.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I select my, I select my pilots, right?
Yeah.
And I click add selected pilot, current balloon. Oh, hold on. I'm not sure I have I need to make sure I have the balloon. Oh, cool. I wasn't in the right balloon. I want to make sure I have the ID, because I just create the scripts. Do I have the current balloon ID? Yeah. Okay. If I change this, see, boom, it changed this one, right? Okay. So add this, click here, go to the layout, set the counter, the current pilot, new record, boom, exit. So I have 3 or 4, I don't remember. You go, so I have 4. Okay, you go away, close the window, and set the field. And now I have pilots attached to the balloon. So that's using the same table. Okay, so I have, if I go to that pilot, right, I have the balloon attached, right? If I go to the balloon, is there. If I go to Nick Mark, I have the balloon 1000, right? If I go to Ken Tool, right, and I can say go there, add the pilot, whatever. I press my button, he add my pilots. I go there, I click here, and I add my pilots, whatever. Boom. So now I can do both ways. Add pilot to the balloon or add balloon to the pilots. So I'm on both ways, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
I think the pilot is not counting correctly though.
No, it's not counting at all. It's not counting at all because I don't have the.
Because I didn't think we had it set a different way or something.
Yeah. No. I need to. What's the name? I need to copy those
I see.
two.
Yeah, I see it right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And put that here. And so this is the advantage of using the same timestamp, the same name on the trigger. Because I copy those two, right?
Yeah.
And this is okay. I just need to change this. This is a number of balloons, but I don't need that. I'm in balloon, so I need the number of pilots. I don't know why I copied this. I need a number of pilots, right? Okay, so yeah. So let me do this. Paste this. I'm going to delete this one. Rename this one pilots.
Got it.
Right? And say I want the count of the TO2F. I want the count on this. Right? Why? Oh.
You're on balloon 3 on the left.
Yeah. So TO2F shouldn't bother me. This field comes on an unrelated table. Eh? Yeah. because I did I named TO2, but from the balloon stuff. So I have my number based on this trigger. I'm counting how many balloons I have. So now I'm placing that field in the calculation of the button. Okay? In the balloon table.
Mm-hmm.
Because it says always 0, because I put, I just put 0 here.
Oh, that's right. Because we just hard coded the number in there. That's right.
Yeah, I just out coded.
Because we didn't know. Yeah. I didn't think we had finished that.
Yeah. That is thanks to their cross-reference table. So the
structuring things so that you could easily copy and just tweak.
Exactly. So it structures. That's why I have those. Naming very easy. You open a window, you sort, then you add. You use the same technique all over. This is the same on all my solutions. I copy paste and I rename those things. And then you validate the same way. I'm getting this, and I go to the layout loop and boom. Okay. So sometime I'm sending this to the server, when I want, because sometimes you want something fast.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when you add something, you have a lot of things going on. Okay. And it takes some time, and you don't want to stay, when you click add pilot and you click this, and you click add, sometimes you don't want to stay like 10 seconds waiting, right? So you send to the server, and the server adding, right? So, but here it's not the case. We don't. It's fast enough. So if we have question at the time,
I don't really see questions at the moment, but I'll wait a couple minutes, or rather a minute or so.
Yeah. So while we wait for that, tomorrow and after tomorrow, so Wednesday, we're going to fix the documents here on the balloon because we didn't do it.
Right.
Right. We didn't. We didn't do it.
No, we did pilot documents, but we did not do balloons.
Yeah, we do the balloon documents, then we do this, right?
Yeah.
And you have your file, Ken.
Yeah, I got a couple of pieces with the documents. Your double click trick to be able to pop it up. And
that thing. Yeah, that thing we will. I will fix. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy one to do too. Yep, I think we're getting there.
So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it looks good. I mean, it's
and maybe some cleanup on the relationship graph.
Yeah, we need to. We need to, work on this. Here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Marge.
Cool. I think we're good. Yeah, I don't see any questions. I think we're good for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Nick and Ken. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, Marge.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Nick.
Nick.
Thank you, Ken. See you tomorrow.
We'll see you.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.